Hello and welcome to the Global Fashion Workshop channel. I remind you that we release a new video 3 times a week. Today I'm wearing a coat made from organza that I bought in Paris. A 2-ply coat from organza if I'm being accurate. It has 2 layers and all the seams are sewn inside, like this. 2 layers here, and you can see it completely 2-ply. 2 layers help the coat not to lose shape. I fell in love with it at first sight. This pattern is remarkable for its side panel that passes into a sleeves gusset. I'll show it to you on the table. This pattern is very elegant. Look how perfectly the top fits. You see that a flaring goes from the bust line, do you? Well, I have a microphone here. The coat is just chic. The seam is sewn inside and the sleeves fold like this, and I think that in spring I could wear it with pants, or a skirt, or a monochrome dress. A monochrome dress looks better with a colorful coat, and if you make a coat from a solid color organza, you can wear it with anything you like. I'd like to just have a solid black coat from organza. It would look perfect with any outfit, or fabric that could be beige, nude, or a peach color. These shades too would look perfect with anything, but you can choose fabric of your favorite color. A coat of this design can be made from loden or wool. You should keep in mind though that it doesn't have a zipper, and if you want to make a fastener you should make allowance in the center for a wrap. You already know what allowance for a wrap is. I won't talk too much about it. We'll start drafting right now. It's time to move to the table because we're reviewing the garment that wasn't made by us. This isn't our garment. I'm just showing it to you. I'll show the pattern on the table and then we'll start drafting. It came as a surprise that organza fabric itself is black with a gray pattern, but the lining is dark blue. I was shocked to find it out. Personally, I wouldn't think about such a design. And this dark blue shade, well, it's not very dark, but it's not very light either. In my opinion, it makes the black color more vivid. Max Mara designers are very creative with this decision. The coat is made by Max Mara. You can see their logo here. The collar is very small and short. Look at it. We won't be drafting the collar. You already know how to design different collar types. We'll be drafting this part, the one-piece sleeve in the side. Here's the side panel. It passes to the sleeve from these points, and right here at the side there's no seam. You see that the side is a one-piece detail right to the end of the sleeve. And of course, it's not a usual one-piece sleeve pattern, because you can see the shoulder line here. It fits the shoulder perfectly. And you see the sleeve direction, don't you? And this point as we're examining a one-piece sleeve with a side panel. This point is where it's supposed to be. The only difference is that there's no seam on the inside. Well, I don't want to talk too much because we need to draft and the video shouldn't be too long. The front piece and the back piece. I hope you understand that we're going to make a pattern after this coat, but we won't be copying the Max Mara design. We'll make a similar design with the help of our basic pattern, because I'm very fond of it. Here's my first armhole that was on the basic pattern. I cut 1 centimeter from the beginning of the shoulder here and 1 centimeter here. I cut 1 centimeter from these points. I'll make it wider for 5 millimeters. And deepen it for 1.5 centimeters, just like this. I marked a new armhole with a green line. The black line is for the first armhole, so pay attention please. We made it wider here and deepened it a bit, right here. This is not the final size of the armhole. I'll slightly open a dart into the armhole. You can't make this design without loosening a little. Yes, I cut just exactly like this. Okay, take a look here. I didn't adjust the waistline because I don't need it. Next, I'll loosen the armhole with the help of a shoulder dart. We need to open it for at least 7 millimeters here. It's a must. You see, I opened it here. 1 centimeter is too much. 7 millimeters is just the right amount. 7 millimeters here. The armhole becomes looser and the coat won't be tight like it's a second skin. Great. We loosened the armhole. We also need to loosen the armhole on the front piece. We should feel comfortable in the coat we'll make. When we've learned how to make such a summer coat, we'll make many different coats and we won't look the same every day. I mean, not exactly every day, but once in 2 weeks at least. When you've made enough pieces of clothes, you can afford to wear different outfits more often. Look at how the armhole changed. We have an opportunity not to wear the same clothes every day. Please notice a more loose armhole. Now, I'd like to prepare the sleeve. In my Max Mara coat, I have here, at the side, 10 centimeters, but we'll see what we'll have. We're designing ourselves, after all. I cut a 12 centimeter dart, and I always cut it round like this. The length should be 7 to 9 centimeters. Take a look here. I cut the sleeves in halves along this line where I folded it. The front to the front and the back to the back. What I would like to say, this garment will be without a bust dart, but we'll see how it would look better and maybe we'll try to remove it later. We're drafting the sleeve first. The part of the dart won't be used and it will be an excess piece. We'll try to remove it later. I'm connecting the sleeve to the front here. You all remember how to do it. We leave loose parts here and here, and it should be equal on both sides. I explained many times what you shouldn't do, so I won't talk about it now. And we're connecting the back to the back part of the sleeve exactly the same way. You're not choosing the sleeve direction now. Don't even think about it. It's not necessary. You need to connect these parts so that they're matching and these loose pieces are equal. They should be equal. You're not choosing the sleeve slope. It's taking shape on its own. Now, we need to point out that here we left 10 to 12 millimeters. We have a dart here. We leave it as it is, but we don't do anything with it. Thanks to the dart, we're getting a dropped point here. Just pretend that's a one piece. We leave the same amount of loose part in the shoulder line of the front piece and the same amount in the back piece. You'll understand everything from this distance of the sleeve. The shoulder dart is divided this way. Part of it is left here, and the other part moved here. This one just makes it a bit loose here, and this one makes this point dropped for about 1 centimeter. It doesn't matter because we'll have a one-piece garment. Now, we move the bust dart to the center of the front piece, just for now. And I'm closing the shoulder. but I'm closing it so that the shoulder of the front and the back is the same. We need these points to match each other. And we've got the front piece as open as the back piece. It'll give us exactly the needed amount of free space. Good. Now I'll secure the tape and check the shoulders. We many times have discussed how to make a more loose design. It's trendy now, by the way. It's not stylish to make outerwear according to the 10 measurements method, and the dart will be temporarily here. Checking the shoulder once again. Yes, they match each other perfectly. If the shoulders match, then the shoulder and the sleeve will match each other too. What's next? With a colorful marker, we draw points where the sleeve overlaps the garment. It went alongside and then it started overlapping the garment. Here, the front piece overlaps the sleeve, making a mark here. Here it is. Take a look here, please. We lay it straight and make a mark here. From this mark, we're drawing a straight line along the sleeve parallel to the center. The line goes down from this mark. The line goes down from this mark. I didn't write randomly to the back and to the front on the inside part of the sleeve. We're cutting it now. We still have work to do. It doesn't mean that our pattern is finished. Pay attention, please. Here's the inside part of the sleeve. The inside part of the sleeve. I'll measure it now. I'd very much like to open it a little bit because I don't want it to be too tight in the underarm. Just like this. I'll measure it now. It's 9 centimeters if I don't open it, and I need it to be 10 centimeters. It's important to me that it would be 10 centimeters. I leave these parts for now. This is the inside part of the sleeve. We'll make it a one-piece pattern out of this later. Now, we put the sleeve aside for now, and we'll connect the side parts. Measuring this part, we're putting the sides together and measuring this distance. It's 10 centimeters. I'd like to remind you that if you need it to be bigger, you open it like this. And you open the sleeve even more, but the distance of the sleeve and the side. Here's the sleeve. Let's lay it here. The sleeve width and the side width should match each other. If I open the side here for 1 centimeter more and create an additional loose part in the underarm, I'll get 11 centimeters here, and then we should make 11 centimeters here too. I'm explaining it to you in every little detail. There must be 11 centimeters also. Then I'd have to open it for about 2 centimeters. We open here for 1 centimeter and there for 2 centimeters. I'll cut the side, and its width should match the sleeve width. What should I do? I need to secure it here. It's not a matter of the coat as yet, as in the coat a flaring goes for these parts. It's just details and etc. We'll get there. We have a lot of work to do. And by the way, I don't mean that we should spend hours on this. It'll take maybe 5 minutes more than usual, or maybe 10 minutes more, but we won't be wasting our time on this. We're cutting from this mark. We're cutting down from this mark. We pretend that it's a one-piece detail. I taped it the wrong way, and we need to redo it now. I didn't match it like 3 millimeters of the waistline. Right here, I'll redo it. Nothing to worry about. Yes, we need everything to match. That's exactly what we need. What do you expect? I'm cutting this detail out. Next, if your garment is fitted, you adjust the waistline in these seams, here and here too. You can also adjust here. Yes, you can. I'm saying this for those who will adjust the waistline. You can do it in spots that don't have darts. I'm giving you the general idea of how it could be. I'm cutting along these lines. It's for you to understand. Here's the side from which we'll be constructing a long coat with a flaring. Now we're deciding what we should do with the bust dart. I have a big chest, and if I sewed it myself, I would have made a dart, of course. The back part. This seam is single. It'll just go there, a perfectly straight seam. The front piece. I'll be making a bust dart. The part of it went here and the other went here. It's a bit smaller than it was planned, but I'll still make it because it's a personal pattern after all. You can't just change the size of your chest. I'll sew it like this and everything will be on its place. All the matching marks are green. This is my side. This is my sleeve. I'll make it open like this. Take a look here. You don't have to match these points exactly like this and leave a lot of space here. And you don't have to match these points so that these parts will overlap. You need to find a middle ground. It's okay if it overlaps a bit. We draw a reference mark in the center, and these parts match each other like this. Here's our side passing into the sleeve. There'll be no seam. Great. I'll draw it now as a one piece. This is the side and this is the sleeve. You'll understand everything when I start cutting and basting. At first, I wanted just to draft. It's a one-piece detail, and we'll draw 2 reference marks on it. Here and here in the center, 2 reference marks. Now we'll just cut it as a one piece with 2 reference marks, and only then we could start drafting the coat. If you want to remove the dart completely, you should do it right away. We have a lot of tutorials about this topic. Of course, if you have a big chest, the front could ride up and that won't look good. For me, I decided to make it this way. It's easier to remove the dart if you have a small chest. I'll move this detail to the tracing paper. We chose a complicated design, but I hope we'll manage to do it. I'm sure of it. I don't need tracing paper for now. It's not a coat yet, it's only a primary pattern. I'll need these 2 reference marks and the waistline. The side itself will pass into the sleeve. Here's my waistline. And now we have a one-piece detail just like in the finished coat. I wrote here, to the back and to the front. But it doesn't matter at this point if we mess them. But I'll write it just in case. This part of the sleeve will pass into the side. This is the waistline. This is the bottom line of the sleeve. And these parts will connect this way. From here to here. And this part will be connected to the other part of the sleeve. Today, we learned how to make a pattern for this design. This is drafting part 1, and next time we'll learn how to construct the coat itself, how to make it longer, to flare, and how to prepare everything for cutting. It's time to say goodbye. Click the like button and share our videos on social media. Subscribe to our channel, write comments, and buy our courses. Thank you for watching. All the best from Irina Paukshte and the rest of our team.